seen these two teams clash before. In stage 1, DRX did manage to get the better of RRQ. It was a clean 2-0, but RRQ didn't really show up in the same way in that game, we do have to say.
Look, for me, this game, as you're seeing from some of the highlights, at least initially, is you've got the big two for DRX. Hyunmin and Flashback are dangerous as hell. You've got an excellent opener, a fragging machine, and Flashback back in the team here is a star-studded aimer himself and an excellent closer for DRX versus the aggressive duo of Monya versus Jemkin. Taking a look at the previous game that we've seen between these two, DRX did dispatch of RRQ relatively cleanly, particularly on Ascent. So let's keep in mind that as we see the veto roll out and see if you do have any kind of changes for either one of these teams, you'd expect the onus to really be on RRQ to change up the veto because they didn't really benefit from it last time.
Yeah, we know that RRQ are a team that are okay with change. We saw it yesterday. They'd swapped up their Corrode comp and managed to surprise Gen G with that. So I think they're a team that can make changes on a dime, day to day, and that's going to suit them very, very well for this fast-paced playoff games. But yeah, I don't want to see this same veto come out for them. Let's take it in a different direction if we're RRQ.
The main thing I want to point out there as well is the stylistic differences between these two teams. You saw, I mean, you can flick back in the VOD a second. You saw that Bind comp. You saw that Ascent comp from RRQ. They like to play a little bit weird. They like to play a little bit wacky. They got all these flashy little bits and pieces. For DRX, it's nothing but standard high percentage play. Yep. They're going to just be that Korean team that is going to play with consistency and be able to just break you down over time and win with the things that always work for you.
Definitely a style contrast there. And of course, we have the IGLs are very interesting for both of these teams as well. You have Australia needing to outplay and outcall his former team on the other side.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we're bringing up the map veto right now. And I also just want to call back to that episode of Time Out when Ewok, there was this debate on like who's got the greatest IGLs here in Pacific, and Ewok just threw down like his timeout card and said, our new IGL. At that time, Crazy Guy was not yet revealed, but he had that much confidence in Crazy Guy already.
He was right. Yesterday, he was definitely right. Pulled an excellent comeback on the attacking side and frag to boot, but looking at the picks here, Icebox Corrode, we didn't see these in the last one. Bind as well as Haven taken out in the second phase, and Ascent will be the decider, so that will be a repeat. DRX did dispatch of RRQ last time, pretty cut and dry game there on Ascent, but the RRQ selection of Icebox is an interesting one. You can see it right here. Both of these teams have been successful on this map, and actually in very dominant fashion, and not to mention the fact that this could be mirror comps.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Both of these teams have shown that they can play this map to a very, very high standard, and it is this mirror comp. I love the Sage on this map. I love Sage versus Sage, but absolutely, this is going to be
the only person.
Maybe. Who knows?
Another neon.
I think you're the only one who's said that on this desk.
Man, I just love when they put the wall up and defuse the spike. It just really gets me going,
It works. Sorry, I like winning. How dare I?
I just love it when one team is running into the site and then they can't move because there's a slow orb.
But we have to bring this up as well. Of course, one of the big revealing things I think on the side of DRX was that recently Mako unfortunately was not able to perform at the level that we expect him to, and he acknowledges it too.
Yeah, against Talon, that was not a good series from Mako. It's single-handedly kind of losing Talon that series, unfortunately. Sorry, DRX that series against Talon, unfortunately. So it's good to see he's put it out there. He's feeling more confident. He is amping himself up. He's had a day to rest to play himself back into form, and you could even see in some of those, like you had the player cam of Mako. Yeah. He was whiffing some shots he should never be whiffing. You could tell he was frustrated with himself.
Yeah. I mean, that happens, right? That happens to players.
I mean, you can't always have a good day. He had an off day, but Mako has been so consistent. He's been such an anchor of this DRX roster, so I think it's okay to expect him to kind of turn that around again today.
Yeah, and I guess it's okay for him to do that, you know, previously, but now, of course, it matters so, so much. We're gonna need to see all of our players bring out their A game because, again, this series is for champions. Is it gonna be DRX or RRQ? We'll find out.
Let's fly.
series of the day, second elimination match of the day, and this is for Champions Paris. It's DRX versus RRQ, and DRX, they sailed through the group stage with flying colors, but here in the playoffs, it's much stormier seas for them. Talon knocked them down to the lower bracket previously, and now it's DRX's last chance for Tokyo.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a turbulent year, changing rosters. They're finally finding some consistency, but boom, now they're in the lower bracket. No more second chances here. A win gets them into Champions Paris, but it's not all over if they lose. It just gets very, very tricky. They want to keep things simple today. A clean 2-0, just like they did last time.
Hopefully it's a lot simpler for them, but of course, on the other side, it's RRQ, and they just came back from pulling off a near impossible comeback yesterday versus Gen G. A 2-10 deficit. They shocked the world and themselves even with what they accomplished, but it's not over yet. They may have just stepped out of the frying pan and into the fire.
The current reigning champions of Pacific have severely had to adjust their expectations here. Now fighting for survival in the lower bracket. They've taken down Gen G. Now going to have a chance to have a crack at DRX and make up for the fact that they had an underwhelming international performance over at Toronto. They want another crack at the internationals here in Champions.
Yeah, I mean, for RRQ, the stakes are very simple. Win and you are in champs, lose and you have no shot. This game is everything for RRQ. No more slow starts, no more bad performances. They need to be at 100% efficiency today.
Coach fist bumps up, and that means our game is about to begin. We're seeing the map veto once again, and we are starting on Icebox, a map that both of these teams have looked really, really good on. They've had that, positive win rate all throughout the group stages, all throughout the stage 2. So I wonder what is going to happen. I can be sure it's a banger, though.
I mean, it's a key matchup in every position. Both of the IGLs on the Sage. You've got the Jet head-to-head of Jemkin and Hyunmin, two of the best Jets that we have here in Pacific. Xfero versus Flashback on the Lurks, and Marco versus Monyet, which is the most wonky of the matchups. Monyet, Viper is totally not this guy's style, and Marco, he needs to turn around his performance, but he's been monstrous on the Viper. Keep an eye on this guy and his Lurks, particularly for DRX, starting here on this attacking side. He loves to get up tube, he loves to be walking through his orb in mid and causing all kinds of problems.
Yeah, he's dangerous around that mid area, but that's something I think RRQ have to be ready for. Xfero with that Killjoy util, I think a lot of that's going to fall to him to shut down that Lurk, and if they don't manage to stop that, I could see DRX really running away with this.
Now, though, you're seeing our predictions up. It's looking predominantly blue, but there are little sparks of gold here and there. Hey, Quack, high five, too.
Wow, the viewers massively disagree.
The viewers disagree with us quite heavily, and I can see why. RRQ, they're on a heater since yesterday. They want to keep running through with that momentum. It is mirror comps here, guys. Neither one of these teams feeling like they need to change anything, but I'll remind you, RRQ opted to take DRX to Icebox here when both of them have been successful. They're saying, we are better at this comp, we are better at this map, and we're going to go 1-0 up here.
I think it's even more than that. It's saying our players are better than your players, directly head-to-head. They know this is going to be a mirror comp. They know what's happening. This is a lot of faith, a lot of trust in Crazy Guy, especially to be able to outcall their old IGL of Australia.
Yeah, it's gonna be a spicy, spicy match indeed. We're gonna find out if the comeback king of kings can pull this off, or if DRX seal the deal for them. This is for Champions Paris. We are heading into Icebox. Let's toss it on over to Komodo and Quack.
Yes, and we've got Komodo with a little bit of fancy bling around his neck as well, but that's exactly right. This is Pacific Stage 1 winners versus Pacific Kickoffs winners, and now they have to put it all on the table for champs.
I don't know what to say for this series, everyone out there. Like, I've got so many words, but it's hard to find the right ones coming in towards this series, I think, because we are at a turning point in this one. RRQ, after yesterday's blistering performance, shutting down Gen G, it really makes you wonder, what are they going to come out with in today? How are DRX looking? Being able to sit back a little bit, but then having a shaky performance earlier as well, right? The veto, in my mind, a little bit wonky as well. RRQ, wanting to get out of this Icebox, for example, it got banned in the series yesterday against them. But I also looked at a couple of the other other map points, and they've been shaky, right? That bind comp that they're coming out with, where they're getting pushed to OT against the first installment against DRX, where they had to figure that one out as well. Remember, with this Waylay coming on through, and then the Yoru and stuff, and the Neon, when you look towards Ascent that we get potentially later on. I mean, there's just so much different stuff that RRQ are trying to cook with in their heads at the moment, but for on this map, they have to reel it back a little bit. They've had destructive performances on this map already through this stage, right? Similarly to DRX, both of these teams have had extremely clean wins against the same two teams, and an extra performance against Global Esports in there as well. So it is kind of a fitting start on Icebox between DRX and RRQ.
Might be evenly matched, but to kick things off, we will have DRX straight into the A site, which is kind of open right now.
Yep, get that wall up, get the plant if you possibly can. Though 5 versus 5 retakes, again, we know RRQ absolutely happy to give you a bit of a battle in the scruff when it is a 5v5, so here we go.
Taking down the walls, looking for potential angles, but DRX staying disciplined. We'll be playing tight around the corners instead, especially with Hyunmin on this frenzy that hasn't really been sounded off just yet, but Jemkin up close and personal with a Sheriff of all things. I've got the screen going up, the wall going down just as Big Time loves the defuse getting stuck all the way through Jemkin. He's not letting go, and Monyet picks up the kills at the end too.
There's nothing that you can do there. The vertical wall, you want any sort of post-plant utility that is angled a little bit higher. It'll heat the wall, but that's not even the problem there. It's just hitting your shots. DRX not able to really collect upon that. Sharpies from Jemkin, Sharpies from Monyet. Those are the two players that are having the performances and the consistent factor when RRQ are doing some destructive things in the server. Great shots to come on out from them. And a pretty clean pistol kind of backs up my point that they're extremely happy to play in 5 versus 5 retakes. Need to see DRX going on for some earlier hunts on this attacking side. Even with Plant, though, opting to go for the full save. Not a lot of kills. Get the rifles in the next round.
Very slow and steady.
Yeah, we're just grouping up in towards B main. Got a bit of a fallback from Monyet. If you can somehow sneak away a Plant here as DRX, you'll take that as a small prize for the round. Gunman around yellow. Get very interested to see how him and Jemkin are going to navigate that space. Come big rifle rounds on attacking sides. Two players that are extremely powerful around that spot. But here we go. The Plant looking to be established. Some further positions denied.
Yeah, RQ's not letting it up. Got Nano Swarms and the slow. Xfero even landing a couple of hot shots through. We got freeing around the corner of the wall.
Free gun for 2. Take that.
And now it's just flashback. He hears them above him, so he's hoping that they'll kind of drop in front of his face, but it's not really happening just yet. Needs to peek out and maybe get onto the spike. Doesn't spot anyone.
It is Lurker, right? So you do question a little bit where he'd be coming from. But Jemkin, straight shooting already.
So embarrassing.
If we are getting like the top performance from RRQ that we've seen and the top performance of DRX that we've seen coming out as Alpha Group number 1 and number 2, it is going to be a mighty battle in this server. Series deserves 3. Series deserves brilliant scorelines, close scorelines, great battles, heroic plays.
Yeah, all good, all good.
It's already shaping up to be just that. RRQ carrying on that form from yesterday, but right now it's the double sheriff buy up.
Yeah, there's enough for some damage here from RRQ, that's for certain. Bulldogs as well, and the player stacking of 3 over at this A site, just leaving Cushy to his own devices in mid on the back of that turret, and of course Monyet over at B by itself. So you want to remove a little bit of this utility, give yourself some options as DRX. Something that we've seen from them in the history of this map as well is really just getting these Sage reses time and time again. I think it was like 3, nearly 4 that Australia got out at a point in time, just maximizing those. For now, Marco has Monyet's number. Bit of a Viper diff in round number 3. But at the end of the day, it was only a Sheriff for Monyet. It is a bonus round to come through for RRQ.
Some bonus information for RRQ off of that death too, but not safe enough to cross through mid just yet. Which means the spike could go down rather simply.
And then you just throw whatever you want, really, at this one. You've got shock darts, you've got the slows to Crazy Guy. Can certainly try to get a little bit of a back yellow trap now that they start to pivot towards this site. And DRX extremely passive before getting that wall down and getting the plant. Maximizing Australia again. One away from the res.
Just looking to play off the angles.
There's the slow behind yellow, waiting for the shock darts. Standard combinations to go on through. Missing the mark a little bit. Marco will eat that one for dinner, but he should still look to find some desserts here.
Meanwhile, RRQ just waiting for the toxic screen to go down first, but the angle still being held true. Jemkin on the trade though. And they're bringing out the recon, but it's not quite landing and providing too much. DRX just holding down the angle still. Mako down by yellow. The spike beginning to go off though.
Gotta run. Gotta save these guns as DRX. You've already copped a bit of significant damage in this bonus round. Sphero will go down to the spike and you'll take 2 guns into the next round as DRX. I'm talking about these scenarios, guys. DRX coming into this series. They've played against RRQ. They've seen it time and time again. If they've done their homework and their review, they would know that RRQ are a squadron that loves to play retakes. They will get dirty. They will throw utility at you that you have not forced out from them. They will have their crosshairs at your face majority of the time. You have to be very aware in this attacking side for DRX what RRQ are doing on defense, and you've got to be extremely aware now as Jemkin brings up the operator as our biggest player with this boomstick in Pacific.
Leading with it too. Trying to mark down Nest or Belt as much as possible. Meanwhile, at the same time, you cannot afford Moniette dropping around yellow.
It's going to be very crucial for an opening battle here on both sides. I mean, Australia, if he gets an orb or something, he can get a resurrection up, but you just want to get a free opener from them, and they'll get it. Crazy guy, gone with the wind. The turret not protective enough. And with that opening frag solidified in stone a minute to go for DRX to re-navigate the situations, but Xfero down through mid. That is so read by Marco. That is gorgeous timing.
Just knows that RRQ is going to get proactive with it. Jemkin still posted up on the A side, but now he's alone. Makes things a lot more doable, feels the pressure, and gets out with the tailwind.
Stray does have heal, remember, too, so he can give that over to Marco a little bit later on, but he's thrown caution in your heads as RRQ with his mid-spot position, and you're already having a save call for them. I mean, it's understandable. They're at a player deficit. It's not like they have an advantage coming in towards this retake. I'm talking about maximizing efforts as DRX. You have to hunt for the kills early on. They get the kills. Makes it a hell of a lot easier to try and close down a round.
There's Marco as well.
Get out of dodge. Hold the gun. Go for the hunt and find some damage when your team links up with you.
Yeah, DRX would be happy if they're able to take that operator away.
Yikes.
Now just noting Cushy's position. Jemkin trying to stay concealed as much as possible.
Well, a bit of a slower one for RRQ in this round. Maybe it's going to be a slower start for them as well, and they do need a bit of a marathon affair to get back in towards a map. Who knows? It's just a little bit of a drop in the water here. Dropping that round, holding on to the operator for Jemkin, so you can give it another go in the next round, but by the economy's sake for them, it's just going to be some upgraded pistols to back up that. Salvaged and saved over Phantom and Operator.
So hopefully being able to convert those into even more in the upcoming round, but otherwise, all eyes on Mako still with how effective he's being.
I mean, we saw his tweet a little bit earlier on, right?
Oh,
it was a passage, but to kind of recap it, let's just say, I didn't do good, I need to do good, right?
He's doing good.
He's doing good so far, so it's going to be a boon for DRX if you've got Marco playing well. As I say that, not so good.
Spoke too soon. He went out of the poison cloud, and now that's a weapon picked up for RRQ.
Certainly can be. This is where things get a little bit more spicy. Got that operator, you got 2 rifles. You can start to get some damage in if you make a right call. Jemkin is in another postcode with that op over at B, however, and DRX have already silently crept in towards this site. Now known with the wall, establishing the plant.
RRQ look to take down the wall again, just as they did in the pistol.
Was seen crossing behind this wall by Crazy Guy, who just picks up a kill. They know that Freeing is stuck here. Confirmed by the drone.
So pushing up closer now is Moniette. It's going to be Xfero out from screens. They fan out across both sides. Estrella tries to play sneaky, drops down, but Xfero just turns back in.
What am I talking about though, Quack, here? When there's a player advantage, RRQ are going to find a round. It is a night and day difference that you need to close the blinds on right now. DRX falter in the beginning. Marco shut down, weapon stolen, and then from there, it's shots being collected by RRQ. Its position's known. I highlighted they knew where freeing was, and then it's strength in numbers. It's a flawless conversion, pretty much. Just only losing Crazy Guy. But you steal the guns, you back up your money, you reclaim the lead. Got to see more from Hyunmin to be the tip of the spear from DRX now on this attacking side, as we have a little bit more of a split approach from DRX and a bit of a more backing spot over at this B side for RRQ.
Especially with the op lines being held too. The garage.
Yeah, if you're not droning that out as freeing, which you just used already, then you're kind of incentivized not to go to that B site. You're also looking at the Hunter's Fury and the pit angle here potentially for them, but you know there's a lockdown for Xfero. How do you want to approach this as DRX? Because when you think about successive scenarios for RRQ, again, happy to give you the A site, happy to play the retake. We see it again. I'm a broken record in saying that, but folks, it's true. They're going to look to do it again. A top plant, baiting out the ults.
Oh, Hunter's Fury for
exchange on both sides and shock darts going on in.
Now we've got the recon. RRQ, like you've mentioned, looking for the brawl. Got the res coming in.
Can he get back in the pit? Yes, he can.
Oh!
Very required here, I feel like, for DRX.
These are around on top of 410 and shuts down Xfero. Position revealed and he repositions as well. Monyet getting taken down. And RQ look to surround the site. They managed to isolate Mako. Now Hyunmin on towards the corner, trying to play for time as best as possible. Gets another kill, dashes out. And at that point, Crazy Guy has to step into the crosshairs. 4K for Hyunmin.
Said you got to have Hyunmin activate in a round such as that, and he absolutely delivers, doesn't he? The lockdown doesn't get destroyed by the Hunter's Fury, but they manage to get out of it and then slip back into the pit as Marco. And a sneaky snake he certainly was in that round to at least try to offset things and assist. Jemkin at the top of the screens. I saw Monyet get up there as well. A couple of angles in that post plant. You're not really expecting too much from the looks of it as DRX. But they hold true to bounce back. Equalize 3-3. Go at it again with another buy around from both the sides. Crazy Guy down to the stinger. And Hyunmin, without a rifle of his own, just the blades. Looking to slice and dice. Me Quack yet again. You're putting a lot of a premium on Jemkin's shoulders once more with that operator.
Yeah, it's just not really in the right spot at the moment. Crazy Guy knowing to watch out for mid, because Mako has been quite the menace.
Seeing no overextensions though from RRQ currently. A lean towards the A site once more. DRX forgetting that B exists in its entirety time and time again when they think that there's an operator in play.
What are you talking about? It's only A site.
Take flight.
Kidding, of course. But you're down to 50 seconds now. Got to make a move soon.
The longer that you wait as DRX, the longer that you let RRQ sniff around the map and set things up over at this site. The shock darts are still there.
Got alarm bot by mid now.
30 seconds left.
Beginning to make a move though.
Freeing has util, got the recon, got a shocky, but the wall comes out. Ultimate timing from Crazy Guy there. 20 seconds. You got to go in as DRX. You're taking too long.
Oh, Nanostorm's getting shut down too. The toxic screen finally falls, and you think that that's the go signal for DRX, looking for the corner for the plant, but it's Nanostorms as well. 10 seconds. Destroyer sticks it, but at what cost? 2 players down. Spike out in the open. Screen comes back, and you're looking to work off the utility, but RQ has other ideas. Elevated shots though! And it's Cushy and Monyet who are taken down. Crazy Guy, he's way too low. Can't really flush himself out of position. Now it's just Xfero and Jemkin to shoot themselves out of this position. But Mako has other ideas too. Continuing to keep Jemkin in contention. Jemkin pushes and gets the kill. Tailwinds into the spike to get it just in time for the defuse.
Oh boy, that one gets close, but that one is on a nice edge, 0.66. And the round is one for RRQ. Thought it got a little bit dicey when those kills start to be coming in from DRX. I mean, it's a 3 versus 5. When you're looking to start to get that plant down as well. Narrow margins here, it does go in. kills collected from DRX, but I mean, both players going for the reload at the end of this one for Jemkin. Taking the right angles, taking the right names and numbers. Marco can't get it done. The tailwind literally only gathered by Jemkin getting 2 more kills there to refresh it and pop it to get back on the defuse. No tailwind, no round. These are narrow margins here in this series.
Could you imagine if, regardless, it will be DRX onto this half buy. They are just dashing into the A site. It's not quite open though because Crazy Guy is holding the off angle.
It's the Singer's Rush, it's DRX recognizing, gotta go fast, gotta get a little bit more Hedgehog action. And well, Sonic is just falling over his feet at the moment, it feels like. That's denial of the Spike plan, it's denial of a lot of things on this A site. And now it's a 4 versus 2. You're gonna be sniffed out by that drone. And Freeing and Marco have to bring out some vintage plays here to clutch this one.
He's looking to stick the spike anyway, but now Freeing's down to half HP.
It's good, shocked up, pushy, that's for sure.
And then the sprayed shot from Monyet as Mako tries to cross, just Freeing left at 50 HP. The full force of RRQ all around the site. Spray frantically, but you will be met with Cushy's knuckles at the end of the round.
Oh, that's another one for RRQ, extending a little bit of the lead now. We've always been, you know, within 1, within 2, keeping it close. Necessary round for RRQ so they don't get reset on their economy, but that was the lesser buy from DRX anyways. Trying to get Hyunmin ahead of the curve, trying to open up the site, make some advancements for the squad. One of the higher weapons getting shut down in trades, and the Stinger's not able to do too much in the end. Timeout to be coming on through as well from a DRX, you would assume here, just before getting in towards their proper rifle rounds. Both of these teams definitely needing to maximize and give yourself as much chances as you possibly can. Do not want to see, because I'll get angry, teams holding high timeouts, not using them when we're seeing the same thing over and over, not working. No real adjustments.
Not yet anyway. RQ, meanwhile, keeping on top of it all. They're starting to get a little bit more proactive to check. But at some point, you would hope that DRX maybe tries to challenge the B site, because that has been, like you mentioned before, relatively ignored. So Op's still in play for Jemkin.
At least they won't be ignorant of it. That's the thing though, right? DRX gotta know that the B site they've not seen anything for a little bit.
There we go.
You can definitely change up your approach, get your drone in, get a little bit closer. If you can push Jemkin off the operator line, it's hard to make him fall back a little bit, but there will be a bit more backing up from Monyet. And again, in the same sentence, Jemkin, Monyet together. They're not on double duelists, but it's a scary duo.
Deploying drone.
Oh, I think he's just been tagged through.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Drone protected as well, so Jemkin somewhat concealed.
Oh, I feel like if Marco just put a pixel out of place, he would have been removed. Oh, he's just dispatched of him. Settle down, though. Monyet around the corner, and Marco figures it out. Maybe trying to bite off more than he can shoot. Makes you a little bit antsy. His ambition there. Crazy Guy, one away from the resurrection. Pills kick, gets a kill. Could potentially bring him back up. But the A side now, overwhelmed. There's the res.
Enough of a check. Cushy also from screens. That's 2 kills now. He goes back in and hunkers down for a third, but Astrid denies. Crazy Guy, though, looking to deny this potential. He hears the res going through and finds the target. Monyet arriving on the crime scene. Crazy Guy flicks upwards, and now it's just Mako left. No spike in the round.
30 seconds
And the res,
left.
you would assume you want to give yourself as much advantage as you can. You're going to get Xfero back on up. It's just a body. When the res from Australia hits the floor. Marco, 1 versus 3. No access to the pit. He'd need 2 kills and then bring it in a 1 versus 1. It's going to be hard. Just need the angles, need the crosshair placement.
Still, though, you can bet that RQ's not going to give it to him 1 by 1. Just trying to check for information currently, and Xfair will be the one to put him down into the ground.
Feel like he hits the harder one in this battle against Jemkin on that operator. You can't get the ones in the end. Pressure amounts in the 1 versus 3. The heart beats fast. Operator to be retrieved before getting the defuse. And RRQ will extend the lead. They secure the half no matter what. They are looking for extra rounds on this defensive side now. When there's no lockdown or Hunter's Fury in sight for RRQ, they have to have in the back of their minds too that they're both available on the flip side, on the side of DRX, who you'd expect have to kind of invest them in this next round to keep this one within the realms of tying it up. I mean, I was going to say too, the barrier wall that comes out from Crazy Guy, I mean, you've planned it in a way that you can't really even deny the spike. Because of that wall, it's just rough scenes for Marco.
That's a hell of a contest between Crazy Guy and Stray as well.
Now maybe it's rough scenes for Marco, calling for some rotations already. A little bit more of a stampede from DRX in this lesser buy towards the B site. I'm talking about the ultimate game. Forgetting that the credits are almost gone for DRX in this round. So they get the space, and already you have RRQ here.
Potential utility to toss out, again denying spike plant.
I feel like it's got to be an angle that they need to get a little bit further into this site. They can't just plant and escape.
Oh. Tried to push up for it, planting down with the wall as well, but Xpero just spammed.
Do love this deep wall when they want to try and get a bit of a wrap around the site, but now that it's just been made redundant, you kind of can't force the issue now. There's no flank to be seen. RRQ do not need to do so. They know they've got strength in numbers. They know they've got better weaponry. They know they've got chip damage. Speaking of Xpero, need some bandages for that wound, and Crazy Guy is quick on it.
Still okay. You've planted freeing back into yellow. Maybe some potential damage.
30 seconds left.
Consolation damage that you would be happy with. Otherwise, into the A site.
If you're trying to get an angle back into a round and you've just gone for a lockdown play, that slow orb that comes from Crazy Guy landing there stops you jumping up on top of pipes. That is nerd. And I love it.
RRQ having the macro and the micro plays, and right now just Monyet, he will burst, getting all 3 in a volley of bullets. Flawless picked up by RRQ.
That's a good one for them, confirming the lead at the half no matter what now, and DRX will be getting the guns back in. They want to try and make this one 7-5 if at all possible. But what do they look to do? Change it up, shut out time and time again at this little B pop on the lesser weapons that they go there. When they get the rifles back in play, they're trying to bully their way into the A site. Are they just gonna try and do that again or not? 5 rounds out of the past 6 for RRQ, and 4 of them by defuse.
Successful retakes. Still controlling the lines on the map with this op still.
Drone, spotting, Marco, down for the count, mid, overwhelmed, A site. Scary with the operator here from Jemkin. The lockdown is invested. Gonna have to be respected.
You know that he's alone, but look at Crazy Guy still diving in to toss in a slow orb. Still with the lockdown, you've managed to swarm around the site, maybe looking to get the spike down as soon as possible.
Really good utility usage, just combining the slow orbs with all the mollies coming on in. Do you expect Hyunmin on this corner? Cushy, Monyet ahead of the curve, Xpero and Hyunmin. This is falling to pieces, and flashback. He falters too. It's another flawless from RRQ. This defensive strength of theirs, unshakable.
Not a single bit, Komodo. I mean, that was a round where they had guns up as well. Thought to get the spike down, but RRQ just tosses in all that utility, holds for the angles, pushes in.
It's great. I mean, there's a reason why this map is just such a strength for RRQ. I mean, I'd like to say it's a strength for DRX as well, right? Miracom, they've had really great scorelines throughout their play in this stage too. A Team Secret win, 13-4, Nongshim 13-5. RRQ did the same, 13-4 to Team Secret. Better against Nongshim, 13-3. They just have an absolute read against you in this map. And now as the last round comes in play, Jemkin has the Outlaw, thinking there's an operator on the floor somewhere, but Cushy currently holding it. They're going to swap it up, get the rifles back in hand, and Cushy, Jemkin, full. Okay, DRX have go into the A side finally.
Now it's just Xpero on the corner with the Odin. It's a little bit too heavy to go in for the wide swing. That will be Monyet, as the sole survivor. Knows that there's at least one target around the left, but can't quite convert it over Flawless now picked up at the last round of the first half for DRX.
It's been a while between drinks though, that's for sure. DRX, I dare say they are not going to be happy with a 4-8 halftime scoreline on this map. Getting red, getting some advantages even in here in first kills, but just not able to close a lot of those key rounds. Gotta make it manageable though, you gotta make it work. You gotta get the pistols second round, look for the bonus, and if not, have some really good players on this defensive side. Echo what has just been delivered to you.
Certainly hope that would be the game plan. Again, with Estrella having been on RRQ before.
I don't know how much stock I put in that though anymore, right? Because we just see elevation levels coming through from RRQ, figuring out what works for them themselves, changing things up, trying to force this waylay play with Neons or with Yorus, which in honesty, the comps that they do feature with the double duelists do look a bit questionable. Well, there's like 1 win, 4 loss record, something like that. It's something that they want to play, sure. I mean, who am I to say? I don't shoot in the server.
But at least for this map, thinking as to what RRQ could potentially pull off, having been the one to select it as well in the first place.
I mean, in this sort of series, if we don't get close scorelines and it's a kind of a blowout, you know, if RRQ continue with it, they weathered through the bit of the raid boss in Gen G yesterday, and if they come out cleanly here, then they damn well earn that position. And we'd say farewell to Gen G's chances of getting into Champs 2 with a victory here from RRQ, but DRX not out in a kerfuffle of scores and maps and rounds and all that sort of stuff. Into the B site though, quick plant from RRQ.
And you've already arrived onto the scene, but with all the walls and everything, now you're looking to take kills and fights around yellow and green. Jemkin getting tagged up, Cushy will trade. Nanostorms to delay somewhat. You've got the Poison Cloud going in again as well. Take a look at the back of the map though, because Monyet is on a long journey up around, but still Estrella sticking it all the way through. There's 2 walls sandwiched in.
They're just into a meat grinder. That is not going to work out, unfortunately, for Australian Flashback. You can't block all of the bullets there with bodies. You're just going to die. And that's the pistol round over to RRQ. Yet again, they find both of them in this series, and they elevate their pistol performances against a DRX who are second bottom in pistols this stage. It has not been a strength of theirs. That is going to be a potential nail, getting closer to being flush with the coffin. Double digits around the corner for RRQ come this round. You would expect just the classics from DRX. But it is patience. Leave no stone unturned. Expect the unexpected. Expect DRX to potentially be a little bit tricky. But eventually the jig will be up and RRQ will make their decision, seeing no overplay at A. No waltz down mid.
Here.
And if you go towards B, you're going to meet with Marco.
Placing swarm grenade.
And with just that classic, go together in numbers. Exactly what they're going to do.
Mako still looking for a consolation prize, if anything, but the drone, as well as the player, will spot him out. Backs off into sight. Maybe look to play around the snake bite.
Scott Monyet having a field day over at the A site too. Call the audible. Rotate back on over there, and Freeing's going to miss the timing too. Being out-called, being outplayed in this round. Yes, it is just the pistols, but we need to see better macro from DRX come the next round with the guns.
Jemkin just saw Freeing as well.
It's just noting the one, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, you'd assume.
Planted.
You might expect a player close by, so just communicating that to the team.
I would honestly just say DRX have all 5 go up with the spike here and do not give any ulti orbs over towards RRQ because she's getting closer to that Hunter's Fury. You do not want to permit him a way to get that online.
Oh boy, DRX.
Yeah, they're not really playing any forward positions. I think they recognize the situation. They just don't want to give any frags over, which is absolutely fine. Yeah. RRQ kind of know that as well. Just the pistol for Cushy. They've traded guns. He can hunt.
He's going in for it. We'll crouch down and flick onto the second
and
one.
he gets his Hunter's Fury with that. That's the worst case scenario for DRX. That's the one thing that you don't want on the back of that eco round.
You feel for DRX off the loss of that. The three of them will go down to the spike, but then you will have Cushy sitting happily.
You are getting outdone at the moment as DRX. You need to just have a blessing right now bestowed upon you to get back into this map. You need to do an RRQ from yesterday on Sunset. Surely one would think that 10-4 is easier than 10-2.
Hey, RRQ has suffered a 12-3 before. Just saying, I know.
Yes, yes, they have. That is short, yes. Different stakes, but I mean, it puts them in the position that this series here is must win for champs. Had they won that previous series, they'd have more points and it would be a better scenario. Anywho, that's behind us in Whoop Whoop land. Now we got a rifle round for DRX to see if they're going to be able to get this round, get number 5. More spread around the map, droning out, spotting nothing. Tube looked after. Rifles very present for RRQ. And around the corner,
it's Mako.
Oh, and Mako falls.
It was a way early snake bite, so a bit of panic, and it settles in. The rest of DRX might rotate over, but right now RRQ's in control.
Shock darts, slows, Hunter's Fury, Nano, post-plant daze.
Okay, a little kill from the flank though. It's a bit of pressure. Freeing will come back in through the middle, and RRQ will be a little bit paranoid as well. Still though, Spike continues to tick away. Crazy guy gets sussed out. So a bit more responsibility on for Jemkin to at least break down the wall, but it doesn't quite go through. Hunter's Sphere tracks on over, and you've got Xpero coming out with the flank now. Spots out a couple more targets and looks to play around the time, but Flashback crouches in, gets the kill. Hyunmin sticks the defuse. DRX are back on the board.
Oh, they get through the Hunter's Fury and all the extra utility. Xpero tries to lob out that Nano. A little bit of a commitment to the fight. You want to get them off it, and by the position at the end of Cushy too, you can't get out of Shock Dart. It's already been half defused. He had 2 of them available. I'm thinking to myself, Cushy doesn't shy away from playing a Sova agent. Thought to myself that he's going to have these lineups as well, but just away from things in the garage. Very well protected by Flashback. Needing to dig deep for that 4K. But his job not done just yet. Guns are plenty again from RRQ. Getting aggressive. We never saw this from DRX. I mean, from RRQ, sorry. They didn't need to. So the fact that DRX are going for it, some signs of life.
RRQ aware though. Will stay safe away from it. Now thinking back to go back through into B side potentially.
Well, the Outlaw actually going to be quite interesting to see for Xpero here too, right? Flashback, Mako, and Freeing. 1 shot available, and you will die to that gun. A minute to go. RRQ now getting closer towards this A site.
Freeing. Just trying to watch for the angles while the rest of RRQ continue to push up. Straight trying to play slow against them. But Jemkin gets ahead. Elevation though, and Hyunmin will surprise Jemkin.
You're going to have to get down off that angle. Now a lot of this utility starts to come in. You know it's going to be an A ending from RRQ. Very far forward with their forces. Crazy guy can't get a res out here. Firing a kill.
Needing to push up, but it's not quite happening just yet. There we go.
You will not
Res in.
kill my ally.
20 seconds, 4v4.
And DRX continue to dump utility just to stall and prevent them from going through. The wall comes up though, and Hyunmin looks to get ahead of it.
10 seconds.
More angles, no spike just yet. Crazy guy trying to stick it now, but he's stuck in a 1v3. The angles not supporting. He will get off just in time for 1 more kill, but after that, the ropes play, and it's gonna be Mako dumping down onto him.
I mean, the defuse does come down, but really, what does that do for RRQ? Retakes looking good for DRX. Everybody getting a piece of the pie. Everyone hitting some shots as well. From Hyunmin to Mako, and a collective effort. Getting what they need to do in the round to keep holding on and reset the economy as well of RRQ. Now I do wonder, 4 rounds by the wayside. It'd be timeout territory if RRQ lose their next gun round, and the best chance for DRX to start to come back into this map on this defensive side. Party mix buy here to come in from RRQ now. Outlaw again present, and still worrisome for Marco for freeing. Cannot give options over to these long lines that xFaero, you would assume, will play from the belt with. Silent drop on the turret. And again, just creeping up to this A site. Estrella jiggle peeking from a deeper spot and freeing droning to secure some information, but nothing close. Too deep of a drone. Nothing confirmed. RRQ take the space. Setting up for a quicker pop into this site.
Couple of warning shots though, just to bait the utility out quite early on. Slow orbs and everything. And RQ waited out. Ooh, crazy guy. It's xFaero and he gets a shot through. Cushy now chiming in. And all of DRX begin to fan out. They're open targets for RRQ to puncture them. Just Hyunmin.
Not the gun that you want, by the way, too. An operator 1 versus 3.
Oh, he's gonna have to keep trying anyway. Stuck in a
Droned.
terrible position. Spotted out. Pulls out the knives to try to get away.
You just gotta save here. You just have to save. That is a blunder for DRX in its entirety. A deep drone from freeing, not confirming how close they are, playing outside of the attacking side nest. Had that been, you know, a maze drone instead, could go deep, could reveal the information. You're getting up close and personal. I mean, I'm looking at the spot, playing from back dice from Marco, I think it was. Maybe it was Estrella, can't exactly remember. The point in play, someone was spotted on the rope behind the screens coming over through. xFaero across. Recognizing the team is very close. Too many numbers already getting in towards the site. I mean, there's just too much space given over to RRQ there. Too much space that they capitalize upon. Catch it in the replays as well. Look how close all the kills are in the site, right? This here, it was Estrella, indeed. He was the one that would have spotted them out on the rope just behind that wall. They get on towards top 410. And they have 3 members, essentially, that can peek the same angle together. There's no way you're really winning that duel, barring just a immaculate spray transfer and whiffages to come through from RRQ. I'm talking about if you're losing your next rifle round as RRQ, a timeout to come out. Well, how about they just Thrifty and DRX need a discussion, dropping their second timeout now?
Certainly was not expecting that to go through, but RRQ managed to pull it out of the bag. One more loss and it will be RRQ up to map point on their map pick.
Don't even really want to think about the next map just yet, right? It's full focus for these teams. In this one here, you have a chance to get to champions with a victory here. DRX, the team with a caveat if they lose. But they need the planets to align for that one for sure. For RRQ. A taste at Toronto now, looking for champs after yesterday's performance. And so far so good on map number 1 of their own. Can they close it
Right here.
easily,
Right
quickly?
here.
Or do we get a little bit more meat to this map?
Meat is definitely what DRX is hoping for, firing off an op shot now just to scare off the Indonesian squad.
Oh, this time over on the A side as well, getting a little bit more forward with freeing and with Estrella. Trying to confirm a bit of utility there. Destruction of the turret. Flashback removed. And an operator shot from Hyunmin missed as well.
You would have loved for them to be aware. Now just getting shut down as soon as they peek across. Got the res coming through though.
Really good timing with that nano swarm lineup to destroy the turret and just get in immediately. And now Marco on the bottom of this one-way smoke.
Again, he doesn't really have much to bail him out, just has to run away.
Gonna have to be a freeing Hunter's Fury angle to just throw some wonkiness in this round.
Oh no!
Missed it!
The first
well.
beam!
And the second and the third, no damage!
Now RQ just sit pretty with the spike planted. Got some utility as well. Snake bite, shock dart, a nano swarm.
Estrella still does have this wall and a single slow with a shocky, with a recon. And with a wild shot onto xFaero.
You will not kill
And then the rest coming back through, but Mako just swings wildly across. Now RRQ trying to hold up around yellow. Jemkin, a couple of shots, but has to hunker down for a bit more. Another support kill, and it's gonna be Cushy who brings the round up. It's RRQ to map point.
Oh, they get it done yet again. When they're into the B site and they're in a post-plant position, it doesn't really matter that Xero loses his life. The resurrection is there. They break the first chunk of the barrier. Get an angle, get some eyes on the spike. And yes, there's operator shots and collective kills from DRX, but it is just not enough. I highlighted earlier, I want to see what Hyunmin can do around yellow, what Jemkin can do around yellow. And he's delivered there. Is that the decisive blow to come through from RRQ? Or are they going to close this map in a really convincing style?
Oh,
that is the first one done.
Could very well be a lot more kills as well. The writing's in the sand.
Getting out the wall, noted by the dart, freeing position here too.
Just quickly deal with it.
Lockdown for lockdown.
And then Crazy Guy to get shut down. Some legs in the race for DRX as they back off away out of this range, but still, then will be RRQ pushing up.
They got 2 kills. That is absolutely enormous for RRQ. They've got so much time on the clock, they can settle a little bit. But hello, Sunshine. 4 players detained. Marco on a hunt with flashback, but they can't go too far forward anymore.
Spike down. Oh, still trying to flush Mako out of position. He sits in the snake bite way too low.
And he slithers on out. That is so lucky. The spike is down.
You just wait off the toxic screen as RRQ.
30 seconds.
Oh, and there they go. Cloudburst for cover. The whole team pushes on up. Mako with flashback though, up with elevation. Xero, Mako to play off contact. DRX hanging by a thread, but they survive.
Oh, that thread is there, but they've got the scissors at the ready. RRQ, it comes so close in that one. I get the idea to push, to go forward, to contest in that lockdown, get some kills, put yourself in better favor, but a slight overcommitment. 3 seconds and they're still deep in towards the site before the lockdown pops. Catching 4, giving a slight little blessing over towards DRX, but it's the shots that needed to be found from them there. Marco flashback holding 5 to go on this comeback of 6. It's early days, but that's the way. Jemkin down, traded for freeing. We're swapping agent for agent.
Oh, and it's a shot from Crazy Guy all of a sudden too.
Hyunmin gone. No res available on either side too, so Jet for Jet, Sova for Sova. And now,
okay,
Killjoy for Killjoy.
Just going in for the brawls, I guess.
Talk about a mirror match.
Estrada still looking for the timing on this wall, but with RQ, there's a whole firing squad marking down positions. It's going to be a little bit tougher to deploy your utility. They just continue to push into him. He gets one. Mako trades. Now it's a 1v1.
Crazy Guy has self-heal as well. Marco does not. Does he invest the pit here, Quack? That's the question. You need to give yourself a lifeline here, but Crazy Guy.
Laser around the corner. Surely Mako anticipates it.
Just expecting him to push for Crazy Guy to make the first move.
Mako gets close enough.
Got to be a pit angle, right? He's fallen on back. Marco, time ticking. Of course, not half, not tapped. Clearing every corner that he possibly can.
Crazy Guy spots him. Oh, he's so low. 5 HP and Mako has to make a move. That's when Crazy Guy strikes and RRQ close out the first map in style. It's 13-7.
Very, very convincing performance from RRQ, especially in that first half, right? Lion's share of rounds coming on through. I mean, they could have ended it a bit cleaner. 8-4, still a really, really good scoreline from them, but I thought we were looking, you know, down the barrel of like a 9-3 when that one round comes through from DRX at the very end of the half before the switch up. And RRQ collecting both pistols in this series and a gorgeous amount of rifle rounds as well. Leads in for a very convincing icebox. Some very convincing calling from Crazy Guy. Yet again, with the way this team are positioning around the map, getting dirty in the duels, they have each other's back. We saw it yesterday. They are continuing, albeit, dare I say it, to be Korean Slayers here in VCT Pacific.
We still might have a couple more maps to go before we confirm that statement, but right now, certainly on this icebox, RRQ are proving to be just that. You saw it with Crazy Guy and the calling, and how that entire first half played through.
Yeah, they're very cold with it here on the Frozy map of Icebox, but we're going to change things up. We're going to add a little bit of spice. Corrode is around the corner. One of the newer maps, the newer map, into the pool. And it was a map that DRX first came out with. They were bold with their choice against Gen G. They looked lost in that installment. Have they learnt from then? Sure, let's call it that. But now their journey may be out of their hands. One more map for RRQ. Let's send it to the desk to see what they think.
RRQ managed to take Icebox from DRX. It looks like it took a little while for DRX players to warm up a little bit. They were starting to get some ground in the later half, in the later rounds. However, RRQ, their lead was just way too ahead for them to catch up.
Yeah, I think the first half really decides this. Honestly, I'm quite surprised that we saw DRX start on that attacker side. In my mind, in this mirror composition with the Sage, this is a defender-sided map. You're so good at those retakes, so I was surprised to see that. That coupled with that double pistol, I think was too much for DRX.
You can see the post plans, very difficult for either one of these teams to be very successful converting, but RRQ had the better of the two on the attacking side. DRX, you really want to see them be able to try to convert some more of those post plans. It is very hard, of course, to deal with the Sage retaking and the wall going up. Stopping some of those retakes on this map is very difficult, and it was a key success factor for RRQ. The amount of rounds on defense that these guys just charged back into the site and won all of the duels, it was incredible. And you see it right there on your screen. I mean, Kushi has been a big question mark for this RRQ squad, but this was the map that was needed. Mentioning yesterday, in that lower bracket game, Kushi on the first map went completely missing. Today, it's a different story from him. He just drops 300 ACS on the Sova, and he's back to that kickoff form that made him a potential Rookie of the Year candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. Kushi, definitely the hero for RRQ on this map. And I think on the side of DRX, you kind of felt their confidence really crumble. It wasn't that high to begin with. They knew they were coming off of a really, really bad loss to Talon. Suddenly here in this map, they took a while to get going, and you could really see how, like, one shot, just the first few seconds of that round, they were too scared to actually fight back. They weren't taking duels that they otherwise would.
I mean, RRQ are the team coming in with all of the momentum after their win yesterday, and now they're only one map away from going to Champions Paris. And not only does this knock DRX out of the playoffs, it gives Gen G that one final kick when they're already down, and that you rule them out of Champs qualification.
Yeah, it's all connected at this point. Each team is affecting another team, but we really do have to give it to RRQ because we have some highlights here on the side of Kushi because of how powerful he was in this map. He was just really owning it. He was feeling it.
Yeah, absolutely. He came up absolutely clutch for RRQ on the Sova here. You can see a number of these post-plant situations where he's able to multi-frag, because think about what the Sova does for you. You're throwing out a drone, people are scaling out in front of you, or you're darting on into the site, and then you're kind of the guy in the middle of the pack, both on defense and attack, completing these retakes. And when you're as sharp as this, when you're a real shooter in these post plants, sitting back yellow, you're coming out rafters and you're multi-fragging, winning every duel, that's where he's going to be putting up numbers, and it was good for every single one of those situations.
Yeah, I mean, now is the perfect time to see Kushi back playing in insane form. Remember at the start of the year just how good he was, but stage 2 has not been good for him. This has been his worst stage of his rookie year. We've been talking about it on this desk. When is he going to come back? When are we going to see prime Kushi again? And this game was it.
Well, yeah, he's going to come back when it matters the most.
Yeah.
For this match versus DRX, Kushi definitely the MVP of that map. Now, I think on the side of RRQ as well, you could really see the complete opposite. If DRX did lose a lot of that confidence, you saw RRQ, even though they were down, they weren't afraid to actually just still go forward. And I think it was really spearheaded by Crazy Guy, who,
he played great.
living up to his name, by the way, he is like, no, I'm on the stage, I will take this duel, and I'll take 3 more if I have to.
On the stage is where I wish there was a microphone. I wish you guys at home could hear how loud he is, how assertive he is in this leadership role. he is consistently being the loudest voice on RRQ, driving the force. And it's not even just like, hey guys, let's go. Hey, it's literally like, let's go right side. Let's swing together. Yeah. He's calling the swing timings. He's calling the post plan. He's telling people to be disciplined. He is directing the entire macro game at every single point in the round and putting frags together on the board. Do you have any idea how taxing that is on your nervous system to be switched on at every second of the round?
He is micromanaging every single thing, and he's putting up the numbers as well. You really have to give it to him, the beast from the East. He is definitely the game changer, I feel, for RRQ here. Now we are going into the second map. It is going to be Corrode. I wonder if this means DRX can manage to make that comeback.
Yeah, so DRX have chosen Corrode into this series. We saw RRQ play this yesterday, comp swapping to be that double duelist. DRX know this, but it's RRQ gonna change it? Are they gonna go back? I mean, this is a team that are unpredictable.
Yeah, to summarize this, I mean, DRX, they comp swapped. You saw that initial comp go horribly against Gen.G in the opener, but that was early days on Corrode. This second comp went a lot better for them. They got a dub for RRQ. Both Corrode and Ascent is similar stories for me. They can't decide on a comp. They're not quite comfortable with their playstyle. They continue to change it up. They've landed on a winner yesterday, a very dominant win on Corrode with this double duelist comp. They're going to start out defense first, and DRX is going to be aware of that. They've already watched the film. They've already watched the tape. They know what they're going to expect from RRQ, so it's really just a question of, with this single duelist comp that they're running, they've got a lot of util. It's a bit of a slower comp from DRX, who are going to have to start on this attacking side. Are they going to be able to shut down the waylay on these info lines? You know, Jemkin on these off angles, Monya sliding at you with the set plays that the Neon is going to be running it. Because as you're moving through the map, you're going to be disrupted. RRQ is going to get in your face, and if you can't deal with that, I'm sorry, but you're going to be out of the playoffs here in Pacific, and RRQ is going to champions.
Yeah, you got to wonder if yesterday's match, you know, revealed a lot, and maybe Gen.G did DRX a favor here by letting RRQ just lay out their cards. And when it comes to prep, you know that DRX really does do their homework, and they're going to expect every single card that RRQ managed to play yesterday, so is a change coming in?
Yeah, they may have been able to prep, but that's not my biggest issue for DRX today. My biggest issue for DRX today is that they're flat. They're not showing up to this game in the form that they need. Icebox was the perfect example of that. You've seen them dominate Icebox in 2 of these maps when they're playing assertively. They're trusting their game plan. You see them flying into the site on the attacking side. Wall goes up. Yeoman's getting entries everywhere. Marco's on the lurk. Where was that on Icebox? If these players don't switch on and they're not this assertive, quick kind of pace team that makes these snappy decisions and this perfect synchronization with each other, then they're just going to get rolled over by RRQ with the double duelist here.
I mean, RRQ just have so much momentum. They almost feel like they were chosen to run this lower bracket at this point after what happened yesterday. But you're totally right. I think now DRX's backs are truly against the wall. They have to win this map too if they want to keep rolling into the playoffs. Otherwise, Champions qualification gets very tricky and you're not in control of your own destiny anymore.
No.
Definitely. Again, this series is so important because the winner of this qualifies to Champions Paris. And it looks as though RRQ, they are just that much further ahead than DRX at this point. But this is Corrode. This is going to be DRX's map pick.
It is. RRQ have opted to start out on the defensive side. They want to put the wall up, but, you know, maybe not necessarily just play a traditional defense. They want to get aggressive with this double duelist. They want to take their fate into their own hands and qualify for Champions Paris with a win on their opponent's map pick here.
DRX also playing what we would expect from them, and I have to highlight Flashback here. Normally it's the job of the Sentinel to slow down these duelists, but he's going to have a very hard time. They can get up over that wall, move fast through his razor vines. I need to see him sharp. He has to put bullets in the head of this double duelist.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on Crazy Guy as well. This guy was clutching round after round on this map yesterday.
Oh, RRQ, they can feel it. It is so close. And for DRX, they need to make this comeback. If they have any chance at all, this could be for Champions Paris. We are stepping into Corrode with Komodo and Quack.
Looking to spice things up with something more corrosive on this map. Let's see if DRX will indeed give us the comeback that they so are looking for.
Oh, well, they are certainly on the back foot, aren't they? Not even a real close scoreline on Icebox. Outmaneuvered in pretty much every turning point by RRQ. I'll even add to the fact that Jemkin and Monyet were bottom fragging for RRQ. That says a statement that they still come away with a scoreline such as that. So Corrode right now, DRX, have a lot to do starting on this attacking side. Up through mid, at least for now, but a lot of bullets peppered their way.
Yeah, so exposed. The relay bolting, collapsing into them. Still, though, you've got the paranoia sent up by Mako, and a decent shot from Estrella to try to hold things back. Hyunmin just jumping across. Jemkin still firing shots, but he's way too low now. Has to hang back. Xfero suffers a shot.
Good shot from Flashback, a necessary one in my mind, but Jemkin, crazy guy. There is a refract still available. And Estrella's low too.
Spike planted.
24 though, and it's the ghost in the opponent's hands, so still lethal.
The leaders both alive.
And a haunt that just came back too. Thinking to send it across. You've got the smokes up around the spike, but Flashback up above will just descend upon RRQ.
You mentioned the haunt for good reason. Gets a good spot at the end on towards Jemkin. The pistol round goes DRX's way, up the guts of mid. Bit more of a scrappier one for sure, but it's all good. But they come away with something that they escaped them in the previous map. And a lot throughout the stage as well, to be completely honest with you. The corrode pistol from RRQ on the defense, just not getting the job done. When you consider that once upon a time they'd leaned it up for some B-sided pop plays on the pistol rounds, changing for adaptations with what DRX throw their way down mid in that time. Feels like every installment we've seen from RRQ, a different pistol on defense so far. Oh, now an opportunity for DRX to double down. First shot, good. Cushy down. Just against the classic pistols. Keep to the long lanes. Good look to 100% this one.
Smokes back up as well. DRX still looking for targets. Now down to a minute left.
Yep.
Spotting out 2 around A.
Hear that, Marshall. Don't want to play into that. You're looking for a lurk in this sort of spot together as a team. You're looking for the pistol player. Essentially, that's Flashback over at the B side of the map. Eventually the call to be made to go to this A site. That's where Monyet does start to rotate over towards as well. So the idea that this is going to end with 30 seconds at this A site is going to come into play. Utility confirms it. This is a situation that actually could be thriftyable for RRQ. Uh-oh.
Just make it a fight. As DRX, you wait out the flash. Saturate comes in though, and then Jemkin looking for shots. He's got the trap ball! What are those taps? Mako needing to pick it all up now. He has to watch out for players around these corners, trying to slice the pie. The snake bite flushes him out of position, and Flashback with just a ghost. He gets thriftied. RRQ pull off the unimaginable again.
What did I say? I'm not a prophet. I shouldn't be able to say the thing and it happened in the server. No time left on the clock. Yet again, it's a problem for DRX. It's what happened on Icebox. You know that there's retake strength for RRQ. You know in yesterday's performances how much of a problem a hinder can be from Jemkin. Time and time again, I was saying it. I'm so impressed with how he plays the waylay around this squad, how he uses this utility. You cannot shoot back with that hinder. He catches 3 in an eco, a classic, a free gun.
Now thanks to that, you're buying up in full while DRX, party mix if you want to call it that.
Stingers at a frenzy and some classics to try and answer back. At a bit of a laughing stock round. Sets yourselves up for RRQ right now to get some better strength on this defensive side. A map that when it first came out was so defensive sided. A lot of teams globally recognizing some things on the attack though, starting to make it a little bit more workable and manageable, especially when you utilize mid in this map. See it have some good strength for a lot of teams, especially on the teams that look to run these Sage comps as well. None of these, of course, doing that just yet. Maybe in its entirety, peeling away from that, but 50 seconds to go. As DRX angling for a B-side play, but they need their forces to really get up close and personal with these weapons.
Currently being marked by Cushy. The C's somewhat early, so still a chance to get within range. There they go, Stingers ripped a piece, and it will be Mako getting the final one.
As I said, up close and personal. If we are going to go tit for tat here, this is going to be the way that DRX do it. Very patiently, with enough protection on the time for a split and utility that they hold and then throw in. They pilfer all of the weapons.
As RRQ makes more noise. Watch out for all the angles. Mako will swing. At that point.
Can't do this one as Jemkin, unfortunately.
Be right back.
Not going to top deck the right card here.
Just tries to go for it.
Looking for some damage at least. Remove a couple of these weapons that are stolen by DRX. There's one. Hey. Shooting the floor instead of the hind up, but it's fine. Parallel, we're just going to drift the on back. All right. It's like Icebox. We're going to go a little bit here, a little bit there. And then maybe one team to run away.
Could be DRX now. Think about it, but
maybe. Never know. That would be a tilter as a coach to witness in both occurrences. Second round and third round here. Feel like had he been here, probably would have heard Alex from where we are.
It's Ewok and Termi.
Not as explosive vocal-wise. Operator out for Jemkin, converted pass online as well. Back to the norm if you consider it. DRX getting the pistol and then let's say RRQ won the bonus round and we go from there. Let's just handshake that duel of the Thrifties. Cushy though, the piggy bank, just down to the Sheriff. And again, a really slow start for DRX in the beginning. There's a lot of space that Jem can find here. Can freeing remove his head? No. The answer is no. You've lost your Viper. You've lost your mid-wall cut across the map now. Kind of pushes your forces to this B site. Not contending with an operator at A that is so potent. And even then, if it becomes a retake, I mean, Jemkin with the pass. RRQ shall look to tie it up here.
And this is the site where there are two Phantoms as well. Relay Bolt sent in. Hyunmin tries to stay out of it. But the barrel quickly spotted by Monyen, and he just hunkers down for the third.
And they expect the double TP to go in towards the tower as well. We've seen that a couple of times before in history. We've seen it from a team like RRQ when it comes to Haven. Up the guts of mid, double TPing into B, making a good round work. This round though, with the operator, there is a reason that this team has the most operator purchases and the most operator successes. And you want to know why, Quack? You want to know why? Because it's the name Jemkin.
With the shop.
He just touches that weapon and it's gold.
Well, challenged a little bit by utility.
Prowler on. Does get broken. They're locked onto the prey for a little bit. If RRQ are aware of that, they know that Link is exposed. And I can already see the jiggling from Marco, having to be careful for the allocation of Jemkin's crosshair. But there's no one in main currently either. DRX, no forward positions there. Gotta have a little bit more of a forward think to how they want to look to close this one. Australia now pretty much out of utility, waiting for the Haunt to come back online. There is a seize, but he's going to call something for the team here. Is it going to be another bit to go up mid and towards the B site for where Flashback is hanging around?
Oh, that's where Monye will come in to investigate.
Confirming information though is Monye. That could be worth its weight in gold, bar the operator, which is not going to be here around this B site.
Oh, looks to play it safe. Relay Bolt to stun and slow them up.
Already realizing as well that the site can be quickly overwhelmed by this Link play, so just disconnecting his RRQ. Gonna be happy if it goes into a bit of a retake spot. You might think plant down, 5v5, operator still, Jemkin, other side of the map, in another universe, out of play essentially here. The team needs to do the effort.
All Australia needs is 1 for the Nightfall, 2. All the positions are in place for DRX. RQ trying to set it up, especially with Paranoia. Jemkin might be in for a world of hurts. Yeah, that's the saturate still though. Buys a bit more time for the rest of the team to get into sight, and there they will. Flashback hiding around the back, especially with the toxic screen in his face. But Cushy not landing the flick. Now DRX feeling a lot more comfortable. Spring swings out. Xfero though taking the shot. 1v1 Flashback. Has a potential angle for the wall bank, slips on across and finds the 3K to convert it to a round win.
Oh, no time at the end to run away either. He's going to sacrifice himself, but DRX managed to get the round backwards and forwards. We keep on going around the roundabout. A very passive retake to come through from RRQ, very delayed. Can't help but wonder what happens if they go a little bit earlier and just let Jemkin still play off Yonder. If it draws some more attention from middle, away from middle. You know, allowing potentially freeing to get caught instead of catching Jemkin. Timeout from RRQ, earliest one so far today. I mean, RRQ didn't even take any over on the previous map, right? Just DRX, so trying to realize things early on this map. Some good things from both teams, sure. Some bad things from both teams, yeah, sure. It's the nature of the game.
It's also just a lot of early utility coming up from RRQ, getting proactive on this defense.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want to talk about proactivity, mid has been a bit of a pressure point for them. DRX are getting there, getting through all this utility and then looking to scale up.
That's right.
So there's some options here if they want to try and adjust. Going a little bit more focal in towards mid, perhaps. An operator, you know, you understand can lock down a long line for Jemkin, but when you look in this new round, it's the reset scenario if RRQ do lose this one, and it's the same thing for DRX essentially, right? We've got no security in the bank. So this is quite the important round. Access to a couple of ults as well. We do indeed get a little bit more mid occurrence, just for a little bit from RRQ.
DRX playing cautious right after the timeout too.
Well, they're kind of just falling back onto what they normally do. Calculated and methodical plays.
Ooh.
But I think you need to get a little bit more hungry for things in the server here, being a map down.
There.
Speaking about hunger, Jemkin lining up his prey.
Down by the mid cross.
Oh.
Yeah, the toxic screen, he tried to get ahead of it.
Really well organized by DRX to do that one together as a team, and that crazy guy, he's going to falter too. This is looking much better for DRX into this A site.
RQ will arrive by the back of Crane, but the Nightfall.
Calling it. See the Nightfall,
Spike
see the
planted.
positions already found. If you recognize that no one's home here as DRX, you don't need to invest any more of these ultimates too. Should as well, just in your experience, recognize on this map it's going to be a save here for RRQ. They will get the operator, so they can give the next round another go. And that's going to be a required item to take into the next round, really. Get that back into Jemkin's hand. Monyet can have the overdrive too. And you got 2 weapons still. Can call a bit more of a faster play if you want to for RRQ come that next round, right? Something that comes out into my mind, the B side of the map plays. You get your Paranoia out or your Fade Util out. Jemkin, he can just saturate and light speed over in B main, look for those duels and get out. There's a lot of options that RRQ could still do on this defensive side with this double duelist deployment, which hasn't had its greatest successes, as we mentioned a little bit earlier on. For the first time in forever, we do get a secondary round in a row. DRX hold the lead.
Seemingly to have really begun to figure out how to work around this op of Jemkins. Next round comes up and you still have to opt back in.
If this was that B setup that I was just talking about on the defensive side, I mean, the bodies were here for DRX. Could you imagine? More spread around the map though as RRQ.
Bring them down.
The operator at the correct spot too. And you're pushing Jemkin off the line. Are you steel gardening to get in?
Doing a thing.
Okay, Jemkin managing to refract away.
And now that you're in, you can use the pit as freeing as well. Flashback.
Oh!
Makes a good go of it against Crazy Guy and Cushy.
Quickly back into sight.
Planted.
RRQ, they've got some possible angles. Monyet just slides in. Steel Guard and Rip though. And he quickly spots out to the next target, but swaps over to Shorty. A double kill found, and it's the Viper's pick quickly ripped.
Monyet zap around.
Goes in for the overdrive just to try to trace out his opponents. So he's kind of spotting them. Xfero in for a couple of more sprays as well. Fire support, and he knows where Freeing is. Swaps back. And in a round, Freeing comes over into the spike though, and Xfero gets off at the right time.
I thought the laser beams were going to be able to polish him off there, but just runs out at the nick of time, trying to get back in towards the pit and spotted. But at the end of the day, the 1 versus 1, you don't know if Xfero's sticking that. There's a poison cloud that's thrown out as well to obfuscate your vision. That moment there, folks, 3 versus 5 deficit scenario for RRQ, and they still managed to get in, despite the Viper's Pit, despite the Steel Garden. An overdrive of their own. But just a more coordinated retake against the forces of DRX. Very well positioned.
Where are you? Bring them down.
Back to the drawing board too now. Outside B main for DRX. Prowler to lead the way. Ambition from RRQ in mid too, but they need a little bit of help over at this B site right now. Xfera feeling the pressure, getting out of dodge.
Will hold the corner though. Oh, and that's a perfect kill. Snakebite in, just to decay Mako.
Yeah, the decay, really a problem.
Mega convergent path from the back as well, and the rest of the team will arrive. The cavalry is here. And Estrella can do nothing but to just sit down. Jemkin, the upshot to end it all.
And the convergent path thrown in there as well. It cordons off so much of the site and just catches you in. You're hindered. And as soon as he just gets in with the light speed, spotting out the positions, the team will just follow him in. Pack mentality for RRQ, tying the game 4-4. The money as well for a DRX on a tipping point. They've got something to go invest in the next round, of course. But I kind of wonder, do they opt for a bit of a timeout now, seeing 2 rounds in a row, losing a 3 versus 5 and then a flawless RRQ. I mean, that's problematic scenes for DRX here, and they are indeed going to call for a timeout. DRX's journey towards champions here, an organization that does not miss champs. A map down, an RRQ proving that Corrode might not be as easy as DRX might have thought.
No, sir. It's hanging in the balance. That potential to go over to champs. Coach Termy definitely not happy the past 2 rounds. If you take a look at the game state as well, RRQ are building up towards some strong, retakeable ultimates. It's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the overdrive used, we've seen the convergent pass used just before. The rest of them, they're still kind of holding around with, and it's literally, they've got them online, right? Talk about the money state for DRX too. It's something that I said, you know, it's on the edge. They can't go for a full buy, but they're going to give it a good old go with the Stingers. And a Sheriff for flashback. I think the 5th one probably elevates your percentages like 20% or something like that with the 5 Stingers, but anywho. See what they're going to be able to manage here. Bit of a mid-exploration early on. Bit more of a default across the board from RRQ. Controllers, Initiator, and Duelists from left to right.
It's going to be the controller leading the charge, though, but quickly nullified by Monyet. Now you got the C's getting tossed in, but Hyunmin just goes off the rip.
Upgraded gun. But what are you still going to be able to do? A lot of space for Jemkin in towards A main. He could go looking if he wants to, but with an operator, it may very well be ill-advised. These are where you need some good macro decisions and tendencies to show through. DRX, what do you look to position? Back through mid. Again, it's expected from RRQ. Do you change your approach? Do you go top mid or not? You've lost freeing.
What a check by Crazy Guy.
Flashback still in towards mid. You're into the site now as DRX. You got to look to get this plant down.
Very necessary. Still, though, with Crazy Guy right around the corner, you toss in that C's.
He can fall back as well with this Paranoia available. And there's a Nightfall, remember, from Cushy, so the team can actually have pretty good items to go into this retake with.
Precisely that. The only way DRX makes their way out of this is if they win the close quarter battle.
2, 3, got all of them.
Every single player hit by all the utility. Now the Snakebite coming in as well, but the Flash, though, not quite supporting. And just Jemkin and Xpero to dump in onto DRX. No chance for survival with Hyunmin.
Operator, salvage, not even really needed in the round on the retake. I saw a Saturate be thrown on by, but the team of RRQ just coordinated in the retake. I think that was an expected scenario going into that as well, with the Paranoia that I'm highlighting and the Nightfall that goes on in, collecting on all 3. Makes it a little bit of a problematic spot when you're in towards the site. You've got some Stingers and some lesser buyers. You kind of need to stay there. Yes, Hyunmin got the Phantom, but he's only really good for 2 in the end. Just too many numbers to contend with. Actually, I got lost in the source. Jemkin did get involved. Disregard what I said. RRQ as a collective effort, getting the job done. Getting through the timeout that comes away from DRX, but you would assume it's going to be for this round here. The Rifles back in possession for DRX. A much-needed round. You've lost Marco. Again first, a DRX casualty.
I'll find you.
The proactive mid plays getting caught out now by RRQ. It's Cushy again. He's going to continue tossing out utility just to check. Spots out Hyunmin.
What do you look to do here as DRX? You still just have flashback over at the B site. He's never really had a contest. Now it changes in this dark cover. Can he find both? He needs them, Quack.
Goes over to the corner, waits for the smoke to possibly dissipate. Crazy Guy takes the first fall, but Xfero quickly trades.
And now they ramp up in towards this B site as well. You don't have any access to like a pit, for example. But an overdrive you do.
And that will take away Xfero's pit. Still though, quick retakes online for RRQ. They're trying to go across. Freeing shuts that down. Monyet not allowing to come online as well. Jemkin is the only one left, and he goes in for the wide swing. Freeing shuts it down. They're tied up once again.
Oh, we are back to equilibrium. A well fought for round for DRX. Honestly, losing Marco first and foremost, you think it's just going to be another round in which may even translate into a retake to come through from RRQ. But you're getting a little bit active. The double up in towards main. Yes, Xfero gets the trade, but then it's another double up. It's a triple up from DRX, holding numbers, holding favor, getting some powerful lines and catching Monyet off guard too. Starting to get a little bit of these things working. Need to keep that going for DRX. 5 rounds on the attacking side of this map. Not too shabby, I will admit, but it feels like you need the lead here. Momentum-wise, confidence-wise. Make that defensive side a little bit better.
DRX, you feel like this is a little bit uncertain, but you just have to go for it anyway. The flash, the prowler, spots up Jemkin. He tosses in the saturate, though, at perfect time. There goes the flash. Refrex back into safety, and the whole team is here to just spam through this one choke. DRX, though, still right around the back. You've got Flashback who takes some shots, but Crazy Guy fires through.
They've got a small couple of moments in the site itself as well to get situated. Get that plant down. You got a dark cover available from Marco, a molly from Freeing. It's Omen v Omen, Viper v Viper, but 2 versus 2. And locked in at the elbow.
That's going to be the pivotal point. Xfero, ooh, quick on the sidestep. Now it's just Crazy Guy left, and he's already tossed his smoke in. Goes for the tap to try to flush them out. But with the edge of the smoke right around elbow, it's tough to go back in for the challenge. They will double peek into him. No, not quite. Mako, he's onto the classic and he's looking for the tabs. He finds it.
Count to 3, swing out before that, go for the battle and get the duel or get them off it just before the half. Marco has the numbers there, very patient. Battle's going backwards and forwards in this round, in this first half yet again. 2 from RRQ, and immediate retaliation there from DRX. Necessary one from Freeing as well, I might add, but really in the clutch, it's Marco. Something we've been missing from him. Marco's clutches always paramount, you assume, with DRX. Gone by the wayside. Last round of the half, hit invested immediately at B. A little bit more priority on the middle of the map for RRQ with a Guardian in play from Monyet and Odin from Crazy Guy. Surprised that we're only getting our first one in the last round of this half.
True that.
Oh, you would assume you're dead here as Cushy.
Surely they expect it. There they will go. Crazy Guy trying to spam across, but Mako quickly trades. Now Jemkin pushing out as well, though, and it's Monyet to receive! Quick trace into midair!
Flashback's got to come away with this round, Quack. He's got a Steel Garden if he can get himself in a plant. He's kind of locked in, though. Xfero may have his number.
Pinging his position to spot him out.
Got him. Confirms. 50 seconds, though. You want to not give him a 1 versus 1.
Trying to keep him sandwiched so that Jemkin can come up from behind. Jemkin's taking his time, though. Xfero just crouches down, displaces the crosshair placement, and RRQ tie things up at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I wonder really who does this kind of favor on the exchange, though, right? We're talking about the double duelist not looking too good for RRQ still, despite coming away with some victories and such. And they go onto the attacking side, which is kind of how they close things against Gen G, right? So we'll see if that is going to be the play. 6-6 tied on up. And on the flip side, against Team Secret, for example, when this map came out last from DRX, it was 10-2 on their defensive side, so they've got some defensive strength. They played that half first though, so they didn't actually need too much on the attack. And stylistically now as well, right? Different agents and such for both of these teams. I'm looking to flashback on this Vice to see what he can do with the shear that should be over towards A site.
Especially with those thorns behind it too.
Which play do you prefer though? Reliable, ever-dependent Marco, or what was that one? Hyunmin?
Hyunmin, cool and refreshing.
Probably Hyunmin with the way that things have been going. Marco's been a little bit here.
Yeah, that's...
More emotional moment. DRX winning kickoff, RRQ winning stage 1. So, probably for the fans in the arena DRX, but for like all of SEA, RRQ.
Just the fact that RRQ hadn't made it to playoff before that,
yeah,
that's where I rate them. But that said, as we go into the second half, you were talking about the defensive setup that DRX has. Does RRQ figure this out?
Well, they need to, that's for sure. If you're allowing DRX to start to find their footing on this map and on this defensive side, well, we may very well go to the third that, yes, this series deserves, but who do you really favor if that one does come into fruition then? To the pistol round for RRQ. On this attacking side, quick mid.
Ooh. And it's also getting quickly peppered across. Fire support from the back lines, and is Kushi taking down Hyunmin. Jemkin on this classic takes down Mako.
Well, changing it up, generally having two players play over towards A main with the Xfero plate.
Oh, just hopping across, no chance, no shot for flashback. Freeing somewhat from the back, but his Sparrow has been spotted by Crazy Guy. More classic shots into the round. Just Estrella playing around the smokes, but it's a 1v4. Let's play around elbow as well, and not fully aware just yet. With the spike down, this round is gone.
He would triple his kills if he's able to find this pistol round here. You're just going to be strength in numbers as RRQ. Don't drop this.
Probably not.
Where are you?
Smokes down, hot back in. You know he's still around that corner. I don't think he's going to be tripling his kill count anytime soon. He does make a go for it. Steps in. Spike beginning to tick off. RRQ certainly peeks in together at the same time. Kushi will deliver the bonus.
Well, it's another pistol round going to RRQ, 3 out of 4 in this series. And I mean, the way that the first half kind of was found, pistol round to DRX, it flips over immediately. So call that for what it is. A bit of a change up in the pistol play to go in for RRQ. You know, and this change up of agents is theirs in this map as well. Just leaving the Viper outside of A main instead of the Viper and the Omen that we've seen from them before. For the eventual mid-split from the other 3, this time backed up with 4, a little bit pacier with the double duelist. They get that pistol round though, and they should be able to find the second one here too to make it 8. Before we see what DRX's defenses look like today on this map. And what very well could be the last half, if they drop it, of 2025 for them. Maybe.
That's a big maybe. We have to keep track of that. But that also hinges on how clean RRQ can make this.
If they just group up together and play it as a pack, they should be all right now. The guns that have fallen on the floor, the gun that has fallen on the floor, be all good to get. But I do like, at least for DRX, that they are, you know, pushing the extremities of the map on the pistol round. Unfortunately for them, RRQ are just flipping the table into 8.
This is where Manya is most comfortable as well, attacking Neon.
Spike planted.
So quickly controlling things. No weapons retrievable for DRX.
And if you're RRQ, just stay in the site altogether. You've got Relay Bolt, you've got Saturate, you've got Paranoia. These are very off-putting utilities. Stun and slows can be so annoying. And when you consider Pacific as well, and you consider Jemkin and Monyet piloting them, I mean, oh, yeah.
That's why Monyet is announcing his presence up around elbow as well. He wants them to maybe try to go for it.
I mean, it's just going to be no ulti orbs gathered here from RRQ as they take a little bit more of the control exit strategy through the crane. And they'll get the bird's eye view right now that they've won the round, surviving with the 4 weapons into the bonus 2. DRX will go up with the explosion. And we'll transition into the first round for DRX on this defensive side.
But already seeing how quick and aggressive this pack mentality that RRQ has can be. DRX certainly needs to adjust quite a bit.
Nice, guys.
Take a breath here.
Oh.
And I go, huh? In my exclaim of my breath because there's an Odin on Australia in the bonus round. It will shred RRQ though if they do walk into these walls.
Oh my god. Oh,
he's
no.
not even allowed to take a single shot, mate. That's cursed.
It's just not meant to be. Now his teammates are going to have to guard his body as well, and that's when RQ goes through a main flashback.
You got to remember, though, with this Vice, the sheer, the deeper placement. Monyet is just hitting the headshot. Marco, he needs to dig deep. He needs to find more than just those two. It's a bonus round. DRX should be night and day in this round, you would assume, but as I said, the heavy investment from RRQ with all the rifles. They've got the plant down now for a 3-3 post-plant.
Not too bad. Look at what Jemkin's got.
Saturate, snake bite, fast lane.
An RQ push up to try to control around Crane. Hyunmin. Oh, what? How did he get the transfer? Despite getting stalled, and Freeing gets the last one as well. You gotta look at that replay again.
Sit back in my chair, put my hands on my head, and just say, what? How's he done that? When you think the DRX are gonna not have a way in this round, when the Odin of Australia just gets removed immediately, and then you lose another member too. Over to that A side of things, flashback. 5 versus 3 that they're managing to come back in towards that. Marco with the 2 shots. I need to see within the saturate just that flick too. I mean, we saw throughout this week when Achilles was here a monstrous flick earlier on. That one there, slow it on down, single bullet to Jemkin. You saw that's where the saturate came. Yeah, but it's like a needle in a haystack affair that may happen. Well done, DRX. Get the bonus round. Retain the Odin. And the economy of RRQ not down for the count just yet either. An outlaw for xFero in a pivot to B. Just freeing in the back lanes and in the open. That one's a doozy.
Oh, Australia's right around the corner with the Odin, but he's been stunned and concussed up. Has to back off Hyunmin.
It's like a poison chalice at the moment. You cannot hold an Odin on this map.
Can't quite hold the Outlaw either. Mako, not too bad.
But he does get tagged to 10 HP, Quack. The Outlaw got a chunk, and you just have to call it here as DRX. You cannot contend with a retake when they're already into the site.
That's the Odin that you've lost apart from the round. Quick executes for RRQ working out a treat, and DRX have not yet found a solution. They tried to hold down mid, but RRQ just find different ways.
You don't hear the marching bells just yet, though. RRQ, it's only 9. Job's not done. DRX got to recognize that. You go for the save, you give yourselves another chance, you give yourselves another opportunity on this defensive side. There can be a drop of weapons from flashback on over, but somebody is going to take a bit of an L.
Freeing.
Australia is having a really, really rough one on this map of Corrode too. I just feel like in this series, he's getting out cold currently by Crazy Guy. He's getting out fragged by everybody in the server.
Yep.
I mean, even over on Icebox, he was the lowest kill person on 8, right? And that's in a series where Jemkin and Monyet are on 13 kills apiece in a map. Not really even up there, but F by committee for RQ.
Hard pill to swallow.
Fashion yourself a buy for DRX here. It's not the worst thing, with the Bulldog being the worst weapon for freeing.
Oh, God. Toxins going up. xFero still looking for targets.
You've already got so much space control over at B2 with a quick little take of main that the orb can be gathered on over there. Monyet one away with the overdrive. Nightfall, Cushy for 2. You'll pick up the overdrive on that. Now you look to reposition. You've been having your vision blocked at mid time and time again. Definitely want to see an angle for xFero here with that Outlaw, but you can't also got to imagine that it was used previously. You'd expect it to still maybe even be in play when you think that there might be a couple of light shields going into this round with the save call from DRX last round.
Bring them down.
Oh, they do get seen by the Prowler, but you don't hear too many shots.
Prowler for Paranoia. Crazy Guy beginning to swing wildly. He will crouch down for the kill.
Freeing and Australia just cannot find any bullets there.
That will be the quick entry from RRQ into the B site as well. Jemkin already marking the off angle.
Oh.
Flashback off put, not quite. It wasn't deep enough. 2 kills now found, and Maniac goes overdrive.
Marco will have some more smokes later on and a paranoia available. You set up the plant. Currently, Crazy Guy's low. Get some good crossfires as Crazy Guy does re-clear mid.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going to be ambitious if he wants to go all the way around spawn.
Oh, sets the smoke up for his team to play underneath Heaven as well. Monyet getting a good spray across. Hyunmin, the only one left.
He's bought enough time. Crazy Guy eventually for the flank.
Hyunmin expects it though.
Yeah, could have gone up to the tower, but now Monyet repositions.
Oh, spotted. 7 rounds in the mag, and he unfortunately will not be able to connect the shot. Hyunmin has a chance now. Crazy Guy making the quick sprint across. Hyunmin gets off at the half, beginning to wallbang across, and he will find it. 3K for Hyunmin, and DRX managed to scrounge up around together.
Oh, the crowd goes wild in that one. I'm actually wondering, did Crazy Guy make some noise and reveal his actual position? Because he went for a really long wraparound. You know, in those sort of situations, sometimes generally you think that the Omen is going to Shrouded step up towards the tower to get a new angle of reposition when you've opened up the whole site. But Flashback, he was always kind of in the halls, right? He wasn't polished off. He gets the kills. He gets the double. So I'm wondering, did Crazy Guy actually make some noise for Hyunmin to know where he was coming from? He surely must have. I don't think he used a paranoia or anything like that to reveal his position.
No.
Anyways, that was a much-needed round from DRX to keep things interesting in this map. 8-9, they still trail by 1. Another buy. A couple of Bulldogs still in the play, but it's a reset situation for kind of both parties here.
Reset that RRQ's not too happy with now. Very decisively taking space down middle.
Oh, and look who's around the corner. Hyunmin.
Spotted out by the Prowler, but still has a relay. Oh, and it's all the utility that gets traded across. They just go in for the spam around the edges of the progression smoke. Estrella trying to stall as best as possible, but Jemkin just bypasses some of it with the rest of the team relaying forward. Mako doesn't survive.
It's so abusive. It is so absolutely abusive there. They've got the one-way smoke over towards the elbow. They've got the paranoia that comes through. They've got the second layer of the hinder. You're essentially isolating any trades there towards Hyunmin. So he can't get traded by his team. He can't shoot. He can't see. It is just such a gorgeous set of utility that comes through from RRQ on this agent set that they want to run here, that they want to make their own. And they're going to survive with 5 alive here as well. Quack, that's going to back up their money. It's going to give some padding. And for DRX, they just have to scurry away as soon as all of that eventuates, freeing them Flashback. Going to give an F to the teammates on the grade there. Could not hold down the A side, unfortunately. What can the weapons do for them in the next round? Timeout. You got to see a timeout from DRX here. It is D-Day. Getting into round 11, getting into round 12 for RRQ.
Gun's not there, man. Hey, just look at how Jemkin pilots this Waylay as well. I mean, quite impressed on it so far. The whole team working alongside him.
Just unfazed. You know that there's a vision for RRQ right now and what they want to do to close out this map. They have a Nightfall to throw into the mix, and just those 2 weapons that are going to be saved from the previous round for DRX. The rest of it, pennies.
So you look to do what you can with these, well, pistols. Not even all of them are graded.
Get that orb as Jemkin get close up to the convergent pass, or maybe Xfero on the pit. He's just watching mid. Quicker utility. Going to draw out some of the bits from DRX. Got to try and figure out right now, what does the investments look like for DRX?
Uh-oh.
Nightfall.
There it goes. Complete nightmare for DRX as they get trailed across. Monyet pushing on the right flank. Just Hyunmin, who has to back off with his 1 hero weapon.
Yeah, he was Nightfall actually, so those traces still a little bit trackable. 5 versus 3. Do you even use the overdrive to get in? I mean,
you gotta be set up for it, but right now he's not really fighting too much. Just plays around the corner. He crouches in for a 2K, and then flashback out from the other side.
1v1, 1v1.
No real smoke available yet. Hyunmin still has the movement. Still though, health very similar. You gotta slice the pie around the corners. Crazy Guy gets the flick onto Hyunmin.
Another clutch from Crazy Guy. Yesterday, he was so good at finding some crucial bits outside of the calling. I mean, we kind of gave him the MVP for a reason, right? He had a monstrous effort in that series. Yes, he doesn't get as many kills overall as Jemkin or Monyet, but it's a masterclass in calling yesterday. Get him on the analyst desk as well, having a chat with him. This guy has just elevated so much throughout this stage with this roster. It's the 11th round now found for RRQ, and DRX will call their last timeout unless RRQ give them one to have another chat. They need overtime for the chat with Termi and Ko to come back in. I mean, this is a heart puncher to DRX right now.
Yeah, I can see it written all across your face, Komodo.
Oh yeah.
Literally called timeout
But for RRQ,
at the 11th hour. RRQ are just thirsting, salivating,
mate,
looking for the last 2 wins.
They're drooling right now. They want this. They are earning this themselves. And that's what they've got to do. The 5 in the server. 4 ults for DRX. A couple of Bulldogs again, never having comfortable buys with the full set of rifles. Convergent pass available for Jemkin. You can use it. Same similarity as a Nightfall in towards this B site. As they start to creep on up towards the site, bait out any forward utility, see if the Sheer is there. It is not. It's over to the A site yet again. We've got a mid-deep push for DRX. And Xferro to just hang out and chill outside A main.
Try and get the vision on the cross.
Well, smoke top mid, send your Prowler in, check the corners, expect a crossfire in this sort of location. Marco to pull attention away from Hyunmin.
So diligent from RRQ.
Gotta clear that corner, gotta recognize it.
Shot the first, they didn't consider the second corner. Jemkin actually checks it. Mako though, still with a shot out from Link. He continues to swing for a double.
Yeah, taking down Monyet and Crazy Guy. Some good options now for DRX to try and close out the rest of this round. The Sheer kind of gives up the information. You didn't able to light speed over it, but the shots, it doesn't matter. Xferro finds Marco, you get out of dodge. You dodge the Steel Garden, 30 seconds to go. Your Omen and Crazy Guy's dead, so you can't quick repause in towards the B site. You are locked in towards A. You dodge the Nightfall, but 20 seconds.
And they just go in together as a pack. Convergent paths into sight now. And if Xferro gets himself into sight, there will be a Viper's Pit. Estrella trying to hold the angle to the best of his ability, goes in, digs onto a second, but it wasn't enough.
1v1 freeings here, Pit is done. He can beat the timing, he can deny the defuse.
Oh,
he's got it for the trade!
Xferro trades it up and RRQ secure series points.
Now this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, and folks around watching this one, 12-8, it's 4 series points for RRQ. It's 4 series points for their first ever Champions appearance. Toronto, be damned. A stepping stone, we'll see. Performance, but they have extremely turned some heads throughout this stage. Yesterday's game,
Nice, guys.
I mean, so many words to describe it, I can't even think of one right now. Ecstatic, extravagant, whatever you want to say. Here we go, up the gut to mid. It's quick from RRQ, it's Jemkin, onto Marco.
Instantly noting players from the back as well, but DRX making a tough fight. Hyunmin goes overdrive, Monyet does as well. Still though, freeing off towards the back, doesn't have the range. Pit deployed around B, but it's all gone, but not.
Freeing and flashback, sorry, again. Had to run away earlier to get a save, to have another chance at a round for DRX, and it didn't come into fruition. A judge without a pit as well now. Leads into a problematic spot. You gotta get close, you gotta get in a duel. Monyet and Xferro now to the B site together. They've got 2v1 advantage, but it is that judge. Remember, the Dragon needs to roar here for freeing.
It's gotta have to be dirty. Makes it clean though, just holding the corner around elbow.
There is a bit of time with this plant going down as well. Xfero knows where one is, but where does he expect the second to come from?
Just a stink bike to work around. Plays around the site. Maybe backs off into Link, where he has the best possible angles, vision to look and strike against the Korean counterparts. He plays into the corner. Flashback goes in to check for it. It's a pre-fired shot, and DRX will secure one more round.
Quarter of the way there. DRX, 1 out of 4. To make this comeback, to push us into OT. What a battle in mid. Overdrives around, trades abound. Disgusting shots. As I said, that judge, though, had to securely find a kill, and it does on Nemonyet. Not expecting that position. Flashback clearing corners. Very patient retake to come through for DRX. They have 3 more chances. RRQ have their investments here. Drop this, take an eco, go for the last round of regulation.
They still trying to play aggressive up middle. The spam's going through, noting at least Estrella's position.
Oh, chip of damage. Link control looking to be established. Force them back from mid. Take the space. Position to lean towards A. The sheer to not be contended with.
Just throw off Flashback's line. Mako quickly setting up more smokes. Still though, Jemkin possibly going off the refract, but unfortunately cools off.
From the shadows to just clear all of elbow. You get the information now that Flashback is there.
Haunt and everything tossed in, but it's going to be Mako with the burst. Monyet trades it up. Hiding inside of the smoke is Estrella. Oh, he fires off a blind shot, reveals his position. Crazy guy chiming in. Flashback through the smoke. The whole of DRX are starting to circle around.
3v3, plant goes down, fast line out. Give you a little bit of an escape strategy, freeing late to the party. Looked after by Xfero.
More pressure. Oh, Xfero stands tall though. Takes down freeing. Hyunmin getting the shots through. And it's a 1v1. Xfero, position noted. Can't quite go, but he swings wide! What a shot! And that will be that! RRQ close out the second map, 13-9, and they lock in Champion Paris!
The rags to royalty, RRQs rise from the shadows of SEA to stand as world champion contenders now. Masters Toronto be damned. A first taste, a glimpse, a learning experience. It's champs time now. It's time to hunt for the King's crown. This means so much to these players. They have made it to champions. RRQ the victors today. And DRX knocked out. Not out just yet. A slimmer of a chance for them to potentially still get to champions, but it's out of their own hands now. They will take a bow, a very heartfelt bow to the home crowd here in Korea. And they'll give fist bumps to everyone for RRQ. This team now propelling themselves to be the Korean Slayers. It's an ambitious call from Crazy Guy, but his calling has been so instrumental to the success of this team. RRQ, Rex, Regum, Keon are going to master the Champions Paris.
The King of Kings, it's a burst of emotion. You can't wait to hear from them on the stage. What a series it has been. What a lower bracket run it has been. And you just look to this team. Southeast Asian fans will definitely be rejoicing as we look to send them down with the winning interview with Jin.
And it will be RRQ securing their slot in Champions Paris. Congratulations, Xfero. You didn't even need 60 kills to win. Here you go, Kushi. Join me for an interview. 자, 이렇게 쿠시 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다.
자, 이렇게 계속 뒤에서 지금 파리 간다고 문예 선수가 너무 신나 있는데요. 파리행을 확정지었던 승리입니다. RRQ에게는 두 번째 국제 대회이기도 하고요. 이번 챔피언스 한 해 가장 큰 대회인데 결국에 참가하게 됐거든요. 소감부터 들어보도록 하겠습니다. Congratulations, Kushi. You guys are going to Paris. I mean, Magnet was excited. He was crying and everything. And, you know, this will be your second global event for you and the team, but also the biggest one of the year. So, what are the feelings? How are you feeling right now?
I have no words like how to express my feelings right now because basically it's my first year. I'm so happy to be here, but suddenly I'm like going to champion, so very happy for sure.
아, 정말 말로 다 할 수 없는 기분이라고 얘기를 하면서 아니 퍼시픽 본인에게는 첫 해인데 이렇게 챔피언스라는 하나의 가장 큰 대회에 참가할 수 있어서 정말 너무나도 기쁘다고 얘기를 했는데요. 사실 아까 경기 끝나고 문예 선수가 정말 많이 울면서 막 좋은 감정을 표현하기도 했지만 뭔가 굉장히 많은 눈물을 보여주기도 했는데 어떤 얘기를 팀원들끼리 하면서 다독여줬고 또 어떤 얘기가 오갔는지도 물어보고 싶네요. Right after you guys finished that map on Corrode, we saw Magnet just crying. What were the talks? You know, what were you telling him? What was he saying?
I was just saying like, congrats, bro. You went to champions, and yeah, basically that's it.
That's it?
Yeah,
Why do you
that's
think he cried?
Happy.
Happy?
Happy.
기쁨의 눈물인 것 같은데 그래가지고 쿠시 선수는 문희 선수한테 야 축하한다 우리 이제 파리 간다 이렇게 얘기를 해줬다고 하는데요. 또 푸나틱이 챔피언스에 진출하게 됐단 말이죠. 아무래도 토론토 때 푸나틱을 상대로 패배하면서 퍼시픽으로 돌아오게 됐는데 좀 복수를 하고 싶은 마음이 있을 것 같은데 다시 만나면 또 어떨 것 같은지 그리고 챔피언스에서 만나고 싶은 팀이 있는지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. So back in Masters Toronto, your Masters journey kind of ended by Fnatic. Do you feel like you want to play them again and go for that revenge and maybe the outcomes will be different, or is there a team or a player you would like to face personally?
For sure, I think for me personally, I would like to meet Fnatic again.
And the outcome will be different this
Hopefully.
time around. Okay.
Hopefully.
푸나틱 다시 정말 만나서 경기를 치러보고 싶고 그리고 좀 다른 결과를 가져왔으면 좋겠다고 얘기를 했습니다. 자 그러면 다음 상대는 또 다른 한국팀 T1인데요. 각오 안 들어볼 수 없겠죠? And you guys just have one more Korean team to take down in order to be the ultimate certified Korean Slayer, and that's T1. What is the mindset?
Yeah, we're just gonna focus on ourselves basically, like practice and do what we usually do, and yeah, basically another Korean team, another day.
그냥 평소에 하던 것처럼 연습 열심히 하고 또 본인들 경기력에 집중을 해서 경기를 치르겠다고 하고요. 뭐 평소에 한국팀 상대로 승률이 좋았으니까 그냥 내일도 또 다른 한국팀을 상대하는 평소 같은 날이다 라는 식으로 마음가짐으로 임하겠다고 얘기를 했습니다. 이렇게 해서 쿠시 선수 만나봤습니다. Thank you, 쿠시. Congratulations. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
RRQ, welcome to Champions Paris. What a way to take this map. This is just an RRQ that has definitely defied all of our expectations all throughout this entire year. We saw how they went from a team that had its ups and downs, was a little bit shaky, and then eventually becoming champions over in the Pacific, in Pacific Stage 1 rather, to making it to their first international and now sealing the deal with Champions Paris.
I mean, it's just a massive, massive performance from this team today. 2-0'd last time by DRX. Today, it couldn't have been more different. Everyone on RRQ stepping up, playing fantastically, and I, for one, cannot wait to see this team play at Paris.
Yeah, completely outplayed DRX today. It just really felt like they didn't show up to this game. It felt like RRQ continued that momentum from the Gen G game yesterday. Not only were they in free flow in the server, duelists running around everywhere. The calls were excellent, but also you could tell that they just had that belief that they could win every single round, every time. You could see how much it means to them there. And even after a similar kind of shaky start that we saw from Gen G previously, against Gen G previously with the eco going against them, they still won.
Yeah, he's right here. He's the one. We have Ewok on the couch with us. Congratulations to you. Bonsoir, monsieur. Comment ça va?
Oh, feels good. Feels good to be here.
I'm sure you're still running on adrenaline. That was definitely a very, very important match. And I know the coaches, as these guys do so backstage, you tank a lot of the emotional stress of that match. So what was it like being behind the scenes in that game, watching your players and just surrendering everything to them?
Really emotionally draining, I would say. This whole week has been. I don't know, it just feels really good to be able to win. There's been so many question marks on us. A lot of people think we're really bad after Teo nerf and everything. So there's been just so many things for us to fix. We've had some role issues, which were evident as well. A lot of people felt like our map pool was not good.